Hello，欢迎来到赛后采访，我是主持人 Leju。首先，恭喜 FAK 拿下今天的比赛。Hey guys, I'm Ray Richard, and welcome to the post-match winner interview. Today we have none other than Frank Esports top laner YSKM. Could you introduce yourself, please? 那今天终于邀请到了上路 YSKM 选手来到采访席，先跟大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 FK 的上路 YSKM。
So the first question I have to ask is about the end to that crazy game number 4. Whose call was it to simultaneously backdoor as well as start Elder Dragon at the end? Can you share with us what the team was thinking and also what comms were like? 那今天第一个问题就是想问关于第四局最后的那一波，你们同时是开打了远古巨龙，然后 YSKM 的那个 BD 是谁的 call？ 然后能够分享一下当时队友们的沟通还有思考吗？
就以前打训练赛的时候，可能出现个这个情况，然后那时候我看那个下路兵线挺多的，刚好我有 TP， 我就跟队友说我想 TP 过去偷塔，然后他们叫我冷静一下，然后再思考，然后就自己踢过去了。
So he said that this is a type of situation that has happened in their scrims and in their practice before where there's a huge wave stacking over in the bottom side. So he noticed that that was what happened today as well. So he communicated to his team that he thinks that he could go and try and steal the tower at that point in time. And he said that because he also had TP, it was worth a shot. His teammates kind of told him to calm down, don't go all in on this. But that was what happened. So the next question I want to ask, is it hard to prepare against a team such as Impunity? Because pretty much every single game, they're changing their starting roster a lot. Does the team also expect to see Husky today? 那接下来问题想问的就是，要对上经常换阵容的 IMP 这种战队，对于 FAK 的赛前准备来说，会带来很多困难吗？然后今天有没有想到要对上 Husky 选手呢？
今天我对上 IMP， 其实我觉得本来挺轻松的，可是我们皮了一下，然后我其实没怕他们上路的，只不过他们一直来搞我而已。然后 Husky 的话，其实也挺想遇到，因为以前台服打 Parry 的时候一直遇到他嘛，他那时候也挺厉害的，现在也还好。
So, he said that with regards to today's games, he said they thought that it was going to be an easier series versus Impunity, but then they thought that they kind of played a bit fast and loose. They were a bit too naughty, and that was why it went to a 3-1, and that's why the games went longer. He says that the roster for Impunity doesn't really matter to him. What matters more is a bit that he feels that, in most games, whoever is on the side of IMP, they just come over to the top lane and they're always trying to gank him with multiple people. As for Husky, he said that he's met Husky a lot on the Taiwan server, and so he plays versus him a lot. And Husky is also a very good player in solo queue. He wasn't really sure that he expected to see him today, but he thinks Husky is a good player. So the next question, YSKM, is about your ID because YSKM is short for You Should Know Me. Can you tell us why you picked this ID? 那接下来问题就是想问的就是关于 YSKM 选手的 ID， 相信观众朋友们也都已经知道 YSKM 的 ID 是 You Should Know Me， 然后大家也应该不需要我的翻译就已经知道这 ID 的意思是你应该认识我，所以想问一下，就是这 ID 的来源是什么呢？然后为什么会取这个 ID？
就以前听过首歌，它的歌词里面叫 You should 什么什么的，然后那时候我改 ID 就改个 You should know me，感觉比较屌，听起来比较屌，然后大家都会认识我。可是那时候感觉给台服积分的人都感觉是一个屁孩，后来就变厉害了，对，然后大家都认识我了。
So he said that a really long time ago. He was listening to this one song, and the song had lyrics of you should something something in it. So that was how he remembered the front part. And then when he had to change his ID for in the LOL server, and he was thinking of something to choose, he remembered the you should part, and he thought that he wanted people to recognize him from his ID, and that's why he made the ID You Should Know Me. He said that he thinks that this this ID kind of has BDE to it, and that's why he picked it. At the start, he said that the people that he met on the server thought that he was just like some kid who was like running his mouth off, but then later on, as he got better, now people really do know him. So I want to ask also about your Camille, because previously you had over 8,000 LP on the Korean solo queue ladder. I think you were like one of the top Camilles at one point. Do you have any tips on how to play Camille? 那 YS Camp 选手的卡米尔是曾经好像是达到韩服1000分以上。然后你好像也是那时候第一卡米尔在韩服的时候，所以你有没有什么兑现的细节或技巧能够分享给大家吗？
兑现技巧的话，应该是那个 W 跟 E 的技能使用吧。然后连招的方式是，你先 Q 个兵，你要同时间按个 E 出去，然后按 W，就是 Q E W E Q 嘛，5个连招。那时候你要那个 W 要中，然后 E 要中就行了。然后打团的话就，你的 R 是可以把其他敌人分开的，然后就你要用的好，然后你要切后排。
So he thinks that the most useful tip he has for Camille in terms of laning phase is how you chain your W as well as E. He thinks that you need to. This is very technical. 好细节，太细节了。He thinks that I think you need to, the important thing, you need to land your Q onto the minion, and you need to get into the minion wave like that. He thinks the combo for Camille is Q E W E Q, and that is the correct combo that you should be playing Honor. He thinks that in the team fights, what is important is you need to be able to get into the backline, and then you need to be able to split up the opposing members on the other team. There was something about the W and E. We'll go back and look at it later. But yeah, thank you for the tips. My next question, your team mentioned in an episode of Casters on Duty that the team's playstyle is League of Brothers. What does this mean to the team? Do you have any interesting gaming house stories to share, maybe? 那 FAK 在Caster 出任务第一季有说过你们的风格是兄弟联盟，可以跟大家分享一下，就是兄弟联盟对你们来说到底是怎样的呢？然后有没有什么有趣的激励故事可以跟我们说一下？
兄弟联盟的话，因为我以前跟中路 Pretender 就是五仔，是一个同一个业余队伍出来的，所以我跟他是兄弟本来就。然后后来来这个香港队伍，然后大家都变成兄弟了，然后大家玩的比较开，就很开，什么都不介意什么的，就一直骂队友，就一直骂，一直开心，一直骂，随便骂那种，就有趣吗？是挺有趣的了，就我输一波，他就一直骂我的。
这气氛对了，好。So he said that he's actually old friends and teammates with Pretender, their mid laner from Frank Esports, because the two of them previously used to play in an amateur tourney together. And then so this time around, now that he's joined Frank Esports, he feels that because all of his teammates are also from Hong Kong, it feels like they have that type of camaraderie going on. And then he said that it's very easy to play with his teammates because they're all just very easygoing. It's just like whatever happens. They're that type of players. And also they're very easy to, when something goes wrong, to just kind of blame each other, but in a fun sort of way. So he says when he makes a mistake, his teammates will really quickly jump on that and be like, what? You did something wrong, that sort of thing. And he just likes that type of atmosphere on the team. So in Friday's match, you and Rest both managed to solo queue each other. And in Rest's interview, he said that he would rate you an 8.7 out of 10. What are your thoughts on this? How would you rate him? 那周五就对阵 Rest 选手的时候，互相都有发生过单杀对方的情况。前天 Rest 哥也是在采访中有说，如果满分是10分的话，他会给你8.7分。那 YSK 选手有什么感受呢？会怎么评价 Rest 哥？然后你会给他几分呢？
听说 PCS 有克制的关系，
我也听说过，确实。
我被 West counter， 然后 West 被恐龙 counter， 我 counter 恐龙吧，就有什么感想吗？就感觉他应该分数10分吧，什么评价他是个打线很凶的选手吧，然后就这样吧。
So he thinks that Rest is a player who's very good at in the laning phase. He said that he's heard that in PCS there's this mysterious triangle going on where Rest loses to Hanabi, Hanabi loses to YSKM, and YSKM loses to Rest, and that's the triangle that they have. And yeah, he thinks that if he has to give Rest a score out of 10, he would give him the full mark of 10. So next week, you're going to face off versus either DCG or BYG. Which team would you rather face and why? 那下礼拜就有机会碰头 DCG 或是 BYG。个人比较偏向想遇到哪一支队伍呢？为什么？
我比较想遇到 BYG 吧，因为他们上路跟中路都是我朋友，然后上路是我一直以来都有就是对练的习惯的对象，然后还有一个原因是他是我儿子。
So he said that for sure he wants to meet BYG next week because he's very close friends with BYG's top laner as well as their mid laner. He says that just in terms of laning playstyle, he's very used to practicing and going up against the way that BYG's top laner plays. Also, he says that BYG's top laner is his son. So my next question, what is Frank Esports' goal for this summer as well as the future? 那 FAK 对于夏季赛以及未来的目标会是什么呢？
应该是前2吧，对，因为我们本来春季赛的排名本来就很低，我感觉夏季赛应该前2就足够了吧，就能出国就可以了。未来目标的话，就先打赢下礼拜再说吧。
So he said that their goal for summer is to come in the top 2. He said that in spring, Frank Esports placement and performance was pretty low. So he said that it's good enough for him if Frank Esports places top 2. What their goal is really just to make it to Worlds. It doesn't matter whether it's first or in second place. Yeah. The next question that I want to ask is, you've gained so much support over the summer split from not just PCS fans, but also your own stream. Some of the overseas fans have also given you the nickname of Hong Kong the Shy. So how do you feel about this nickname? Also, do you have any message for the fans? 那 YSKM 选手在这次的夏季赛就不只是在 PCS 台，而且在自己的实况台也都增了不少粉丝，然后海外的观众也有称呼过你，就是叫你香港的 Shy。 然后 YSKM 选手对于这种昵称有什么感受呢？然后有没有想跟观众说什么样的 message 吗？
其实我有个话想说，就是大家来看我实况，其实不是看我操作的，来看我的样子，然后还打那些假文，我就感觉很奇怪。我看有实况是操作的，可是说一下了，没事。然后香港的帅嘛，其实挺开心的，因为我本来的偶像也是的帅，就大家来看的话，尽量是来看操作的吧，谢谢。
So he said that there's actually one thing that he wants to make clear, and there's something he wants to say to everyone, which is that when he started streaming on his own channel, his purpose was that he wanted to show off his mechanics to the fans and to the audience. However, he started to realize that people actually watch his stream not for mechanics, but kind of for his looks. And then people are always leaving comments in his chat about fan fiction between the players. And so he feels that this is a bit strange, and he would rather people go to his stream and watch for the mechanics instead. So as for the comparison with the Shy, he thinks that he's actually very happy about this because the Shy has always been one of his idols personally. So he's happy about this comparison and this nickname. So the last question that I have for you is, when are you planning on getting a haircut? How do you see the map with that type of hair? 那最后一个问题当然就是想问，到底什么时候剪头发呢？
怎么又是这个问题了？我想一下，可能10月吧，打完再说吧。现在是0吧，现在是0 ，OK 0。
He said that the chances of him cutting his haircut right now are 0. He said that they're going to just, play through the rest of playoffs before he thinks about this. He says maybe in October he'll consider getting a haircut. All right, thank you so much, YS Kim, for the interview. And of course, good luck next week. 好的，那非常感谢于是6米选手接受今天的赛后采访。当然要祝 FAK 在下周的比赛加油，拜拜。
谢谢 ，Thank you。
Thank you.